Hello, I'm Steve Tattersall with Antares Tile out of Boulder, Colorado. Today I'm going to be installing the newest Quickdrain wall drain, which goes in a manner like this. You slope towards the drain, you cut out subfloor, you have your pitch that goes to the drain. I'll take you through it step by step, and you'll get to see the final product. With the backer panels in place, I'm going to work my floor panels over. They need to be cut to length. I'm going to work my floor panels over till I get to where my drain is. And that'll allow me to cut the hole in the floor panel, hook up all of my drain from this side, and then continue my floor panels over on the other side. So the no hub coupling, the rubber coupling, is on the drain. The drain has been attached to this back 1-inch board. There is no backer board on this back wall, it's just this 1-inch board, and then there's shims that go up. So for this type of remodel application, the idea is that you screw the drain to this 1-inch backer. You're going to mark, there are also screws that come down on the bottom of the drain that lock it to this flooring material. You're going to mark where they are, this one, and you're going to do them one panel at a time. You'll slot the center panel where it goes into the drain. You're going to slot where this screw is because you can't get your arm under there to get the nut on this particular piece. So I dropped this into place and I screwed this one down. I slid this one into place. I slid this one into place and was able to get slide this one into place, tighten up your rubber coupling. Slot this one, slide this one into place, get your arm under there and tighten this one down. The other thing is that this floor material goes perpendicular to your floor joists. If your joists were running in this direction, your material goes perpendicular. The extra blocking that I put in between the joists aren't necessary. This fiberglass board is rigid and made to stay in place, and you don't need any blocking between your joists. You do, however, need it at the ends of the ribs. When these are cast and manufactured, they have little score marks built into them. That's where your screws go. They're about every 6 inches, and you'll see them. So I mark where my joists are on the walls, drop these guys into place. I'll slide this next one in. They overlap here. You don't put any caulk or glue or anything on the overlap. They're just made to fit. And then screw all of this down. So after screwing off the paneling for the floor, you fill it up and give it the slope and pour a pan just like you would pour a pan normally. I have this extra board here that I used as I was to screed. It compensates for the 1/4-inch backer board I'm putting on the floor, plus there's going to be radiant wire underneath the tile. So after you've poured your pan and you have it all screwed to where you need it to go, these shims go in. Your backer board is going to hang on top of the shims. These are 1-inch, and the backer board stops 8.5 inches up off of the floor. So in the waterproofing process, we're using Mapei Aqua Defense, and we have these fiber corners and tape for the edges. This side over here has already been done. The idea is to fill all of the voids in your pan. Give yourself a nice coat everywhere. You see any bubbles in your pan or any low spots, fill them. Nice even coat. Corner goes in, fill the corner till it disappears. with a nice smooth even coat. We also have corners that are going to go up here underneath this lip. I did pre-cut it.
There you go.
Pre-cut it like that.
Might point that out. You know that you pre-cut.
Pre-cut all of your pieces before you start.
But I meant show them how you pre-cut that one. You know, the one that you just placed. You never really showed that how you pre-cut that.
Right. In pre-cutting this, before any goop went on, I laid it in there and had this flap laying down. You can stick your box knife in this corner and cut across, and that'll give you your right size. No bubbles, nice and smooth. Don't be afraid to go over it a couple of times. We're going to do the sides.
Short vertical piece in the corner, see between the
Oh, and then there's a short piece that goes in here. I don't have it cut right at the moment, but there'll be another piece that's going to fill this part of the gap. Thank you. And then there'll be another piece.
on the floor.
Oh, on the floor.
From the fabric, from the
Yep.
butyl tape over to the corner.
When you're applying the AquaGuard to the drain, you want to get it on top of the stainless. We have our transition tape, our butyl tape, which we've installed here. It overlaps the stainless 1/4 of an inch all the way around and transitions the rest of the way onto the floor. You only need 1/4 of an inch on the stainless itself. And your waterproofing is going to come right up to your styrofoam. This piece does not need to cover the stainless part. Just need to cover your butyl tape a 1/2 inch. And make sure that it overlaps all the rest of the tape in your corners. Can I see your knife for a second, Carl? If you find yourself with a pucker in your tape, and no matter how you work and push and you can't get rid of it, if you just cut down that where it's puckered, let them overlap, you'll have a nice smooth surface. You haven't changed anything for your water integrity. Don't cut through your butyl tape. We're going to do the sides. We're going all the way up the walls. So a brief rundown of what we've done so far. The floor the subfloor was completely removed, blocking all the way around the edge. Backer board on the 2 sides, none on the back wall. This being an exterior wall, it needed to fur out 2.5 inches. I used 2x3s to go ahead and fur this whole entire wall out that 2.5 inches. You're going to cut a hole for where the drain is going to go in, move your plumbing, put your boards down, the corrugated boards. They go perpendicular to your floor joists. Hook up your plumbing, run your plumbing to where it needs to go, centered back here. The drain attaches to this 1-inch foam backing piece. It's going to screw to that. It's going to screw to the corrugated boards that go down here. The 1-inch foam blocking shims go up all the rest of the studs. Your backer board hangs 8.5 inches up from your floor. Backer board everywhere, waterproofing. All of your corners get the fiber tape. 2 coats of waterproofing. Your fiber tape is going to run underneath all of these edges. You have the butyl tape, which goes all the way around your drain, overlapping 1/4 of an inch onto the stainless, all the rest onto your backer and everything. Butyl tape first, then your fiber tape and waterproofing 2 coats. The next we're going to install this backing piece. Because it's difficult to get your tape and get a right angle, I took a box knife and I took a hair of a shave off all the way around to compensate for the rounded corners, since they're not quite as straight and hard as they were. I also did it with the stainless on the corners here. I took a grinder and rounded that off a bit also. After all of your waterproofing, take your knife and make sure that this is removable. Clean up any sort of debris and junk that's down in there and replace it. This piece fits up underneath and screws to the studs. I wanted to mention too that when you cut this piece down to fit, it normally comes, I believe, 6 feet. You want to center your cut. Find the center in the piece, cut out from there. There are magnets behind this stainless that are going to line up with the magnets that go down along the bottom that hold your final piece of tile. And you're going to want those to line up and be centered on there. Next, we're installing these edge pieces out here, and you'll need to put butyl on the back of them. You attach them with thin set, and the thin set doesn't stick to the stainless. So apply your butyl backing. You're going to mud this, and it's going in here, and it's going on an angle. And this is going to direct the water, any of the water that's coming in this direction, it's going to direct down into the drain. You want it flush at this point and sticking out so that this part of the flange is flush or just barely behind this piece of the stainless flange. You can see this back here. That'll be enough of an angle to direct the water. So this is the modified polyurethane sealant that Quickdrain recommends for their membrane pans. If you're using their membrane corners and doing the using like their quick slope and that sort of stuff. It isn't necessary to do this, but I just feel that I have kind of a good sized gap in the center. And anywhere I can keep water from hitting my waterproofing product is a bonus. Thin set on the back. And I am right flush here and in as far as I can go there. I'm ready for tile now. Tile the floor first, the 2 side walls next. Complete your 2 side walls and the floor. And then we'll get into the back wall and how all of this works down here with the removable panel. So when setting your tile is going to go flush to this styrofoam. When your wall tile is going to come and rest on this ledge, then there's another piece that goes in here that fills, and it is also flush. So that's how your floor tile will lay. So this is the final stage of the process. After the floor has been tiled, your 2 side walls are tiled. You're going to cut the long piece down to fit in between the 2 and install the little feet on the bottom of them. And when you cut this, you're going to have to be sure you have no burrs on the edge of this. These little feet are such an excellent fit that it takes a little bit of work to get them on there if you have a burr. This piece sits on the floor like this, and your package comes with a set of these ultra magnets, and they're going to line up to a magnet that's already built in on this piece here. And it's going to go there. It's going to find its place, and it's going to jump right into place. This is a 5-foot drain. I have 5 of these that I'll install. With the magnets in place here, making sure this is right where you want it, you're going to peel your butyl tape and put your butyl tape across here. It'll hold the magnets in place and also give your mud something to adhere to. With all your magnets in place and the butyl tape, you'll drop this top piece down and screw and fill all the holes with screws. Then your tile is going to go where it needs to and sit on this ledge, and then you will fill this gap here with your other half of this piece of tile, and it's a done deal. In this close-up you can see where this diverter shield that sits on an angle doesn't exactly meet to the top stainless piece, and I'm going to fill this with their rubberized urethane caulk. I'm also going to fill this gap here with grout. I think anything you can do to help keep water getting behind this, water's going to come down, it's going to hit the shield, and it run off the back of the shield as well. So sealing this up is a good idea. Making this as flush and smooth as possible is also another good idea, just to help get the water to the one-piece stainless drain. Finished product, this is what it looks like with the drain cover removed. Drain cover comes in place, and the magnets hold it in place. And really, they do. When you go to pull it off, you'll realize just how strong they are.